The 15th Amendment to our Constitution says, "The right of citizens of the United States to vote shall not be denied or abridged by the United States or by any state on account of race, color, or previous condition of servitude." Unfortunately, reality is not that simple. In 2013, the Supreme Court voted down a key provision of the Voting Rights Act. This allowed 30 states to pass laws that require voters to present photo ID every single time they go to vote. While on the surface this might seem reasonable, it doesn't account for the fact that almost 11% of eligible voters in the United States do not have photo ID. This disproportionately affects poor people and people of color. 25% of African Americans don't have access to a government-issued photo ID versus 8% of whites. So why does this disproportionality exist? It can be incredibly difficult to acquire a photo ID if you live in a rural or low-income area. One of the most striking cases was in Alabama in October, where they closed 31 DMV offices across the state, predominantly in low-income and rural areas. It's also just outright expensive to pay for all the documents needed, such as birth certificates, in order to get your DMV-issued ID. Most of this legislation is passed under the guise that voter impersonation is a serious problem and needs to be addressed. That's not entirely true. Since 2000, there have only been 31 cases of voter impersonation fraud among over 1 billion votes. If you don't need a photo ID to pick up your prescription, then why do you need a photo ID to exercise your most basic democratic right? Not only that, but many states are eliminating early and absentee voting. So if you're working on election day, you're shucks out of luck. So what can you do? Number 1, if you live in one of those 30 states that require photo ID, write to your state representative or governor, ask them to repeal these discriminatory provisions. Number 2, learn more at the links in our description, and share what you learn with your friends. Number 3, and arguably the most important thing you can do, volunteer to register voters or do get out the vote canvassing, going door to door and ensuring people know what to do so they can exercise their most fundamental democratic right. Thanks so much for watching. Now go out and save the world.